A live look right now at the White House with more reaction coming in today to President Biden pardoning his son Hunter over the weekend, something he said multiple times he would not do. Hello, I'm John White.
And I'm Karen Devine. With just weeks left in office, the president issuing a sweeping pardon stretching over 10 years and helping his son potentially avoid jail time. The pardon covers offenses against the United States which Hunter has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1st, 2014 through December 1st, 2024. Hunter Biden was just days away from being sentenced after being convicted on federal gun-related charges in June and pleading guilty to 9 tax-related charges in September. The White House today said the president wrestled with the decision while spending time with his family this Thanksgiving weekend.
He thought about it, and he believed, and what he saw was that his son was singled out, and so he made this decision. And once he made the decision, which was this weekend, he decided to move forward with it and not to wait.
While Republicans and some Democrats are criticizing his decision to pardon his son, President-elect Trump called the pardon an abuse and miscarriage of justice.
President Biden's move to pardon his son Hunter is getting mixed reaction here at home as well.
News Channel 3's Tori King is live in studio now with what some community members are saying about it tonight. Tori.
Yes, I spoke to both sides, Republicans and, of course, Democrats, and people are feeling different types of ways about it. The reaction could not have been more different. But one thing that remains common for both parties is questioning whether the presidential pardon should have maybe some restrictions going forward.
I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
That was President Joe Biden's statement on the possibility of pardoning his son Hunter Biden from June 13th, 2024. Those comments are the exact opposite of what the president did over the weekend. On Sunday, President Joe Biden announcing he would be pardoning his son, who he believes was, quote, being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. End quote. His move has drawn mixed reaction from both parties.
He was a father being a father. If we're going to call out Joe Biden for pardoning his son, I would like to have a discussion about some of the pardons that Mr. Trump did on his way out the door.
I felt like he was going to do it. I knew he was going to do it because he lies. That's what they do now. They just, nothing but lies.
Historically, presidential pardons typically happen at the end of a term, a strategy that could be both helpful or hurtful depending on who you support.
Most presidents use it at the end of their term, and hopefully it's with good reason. But that's not what happened this time. So we see that the president said over and over again that he wasn't going to do it, which is a lie. Because I believe it was planned, and the reason why it was planned is so he could actually have no problems for his whole family.
We just had a Thanksgiving weekend, and the family was together. He has the ability to do it, and so he did it. Did he break his word? Yeah, okay, probably. I think that what people are going to look at is that this was a father who has a son, and I think that he truly meant he was not going to do it.
So as you can see, two very different reactions there. We're going to hear more from them in my 6 p.m. report, again, about their opinions on Trump possibly pardoning people who were arrested for their involvement in the events that happened on January 6th. For more information on presidential pardons just in general and how they work, I do have more information about them on our website. Head to KESQ.com. Live in studio, Tori King, News Channel 3.